Hola, bienvenidos to my channel. Yo me llamo Kelly and this is Adventures in Spanish. And well, apart from winning the World Cup last year, what else do you know about Argentina? What makes Argentina so special? Well, in this video, you're going to learn 15 things that I reckon you probably didn't know. ¿Listo? Vamos! Okay, so there's no better topic that Argentines love to talk about over the sobremesa than politics. And the first interesting thing that I bet you didn't know about Argentina is that the country has actually had two female presidents. So the first one was Isabella Perón, that took over from her late husband when he died in 1974, and more recently Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. Two female presidents. Bravo! Bravo, Argentina. Número dos is that on the 29th of each month in Argentina, we eat gnocchi. Spelt with a N instead of a GN as we spell it in Inglaterra, but gnocchi is eaten on the 29th of each month. It was a tradition first brought into the country by Italian immigrants, and well, it stuck. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever had a nicer gnocchi than I had in Argentina. The third thing that I bet you didn't know about Argentina is that it's got the highest number of plastic surgery. Plastic surgeries. So around 30% of women in Argentina have had some form of plastic surgery. The fourth thing that I bet you didn't know about Argentina is that it's got the highest number of psychologists per capita. This was like really evident when I lived in Mendoza, because everybody that you met when you asked them what their profession was were more often than not psicóloga or psicólogos. The next one, número cinco, is about the Andes Mountains. So the Andes Mountains start in Mérida in Venezuela. I lived there for a year, absolutely beautiful country. And they end right down in the southernmost tip of Patagonia. And in Mendoza, where I lived, there is the mountain Mount Aconcagua. And Mount Aconcagua is the highest mountain in the southern hemisphere. In fact, it's the highest mountain in the Americas. It's like 6,962 meters tall, like it's gigantic. The next one, contrary to what most people think, polo is not, nor is football, the national sports of Argentina. It is in fact a sport called Pato. Pato means duck, and it's a bit of a mixture between polo and basketball. It was the Gauchos that first started playing Pato. You ride on your horse and it has a similar kind of element to polo. You kind of knock the ball and the first one to reach to their estancia was the winner. Argentina has three unique weather phenomena. So the first one is called El Zonda, which is like this really hot, strong wind. Kind of like if you're being blown at by a hairdryer. It's that hot. It comes over the Andes Mountains and hits onto the plains of Mendoza. And when it hits, it lifts up all of the dust and the sand, because of course Mendoza used to be a desert. And so people have to close the windows, close the shutters. It's like a proper full-on sandstorm type situation, called El Zonda. The other thing that happens there is the granizo, or the hailstones, can be like, the size of what's that, like a golf ball? Yeah, but even bigger, you know, and they do a lot of damage. They can do a lot of damage. They can damage your car if you're out in your car, and they damage the crops as well. So in Mendoza, where I lived, it's wine region, so hectares and hectares and hectares of grapes being grown for really fine wines, and these big granizos that would fall, these hailstones, would completely destroy crops. So measures were put in place for planes to go up and disperse the hail clouds so that they didn't make as much damage. And also on the border with in Misiones, in the northeast of Argentina, on the border with Brazil, you have the swarms of locusts as well. So kind of really extreme weather situations going on in Argentina, which is quite incredible. It's a massive country. So in the very north, kind of on the border with Bolivia, you've got Salta and Cachi and all those places, Cafayate, really, really warm, yeah? Hace mucho calor. And then it goes all the way down, right the way down, practically to Antarctica in the Patagonia, where it's absolutely freezing. So south of the equator, it is in the southern hemisphere, but it does have a lot of different temperatures and, of course, the different seasons, which is beautiful. Another interesting fact that I bet you didn't know is that in Argentina, in Patagonia, by the way, Patagonia is part of Argentina. It's not a separate country. In the west of Patagonia is a place called Puerto Madryn in the provincia of Chubut, and that's where there's a Welsh colony. Like, there is a community of Welsh people. So they emigrated, they left the North Wales in the late 1800s by boat, went and set up a colony, a Welsh colony in Argentina, in Patagonia, and they're still there today. And if you visit it, you have there's Welsh cake, and the people dressed in the traditional Welsh costume. They speak Welsh, of course they speak Espanol as well, but it's quite incredible. Yerba mate. Yerba mate is classed as kind of like the traditional drink of Argentina. It comes in a gourd. You have a loose leaf tea, like a loose leaf tea that goes inside it, which is called la yerba, and you drink it through a metal straw called a bombilla. You can have it dulce or amargo. You can watch a little video about el mate, actually. I did a video all about mate somewhere in this channel. I'll share the video, the link to the video at the end. And you won't meet an Argentine that hasn't got a mate, at least within arm distance. If you're vegan or vegetarian and you're watching this video, you might want to skip this bit, because Argentina is kind of known as El Rey, the king of the carne, the meat. So the cuts of meat in Argentina are absolutely delicious. Oh, the meat in Argentina is incredible. Probably because of all of that land there isn't, it's so fertile, that the meat is really, really delicious. And of course, one of the most traditional or most common meals in Argentina is el asado, which is lots of different cuts of meat barbecued on a barbecue with wood. So you let the wood burn and use the embers to slowly cook the meat on una parrilla outside. Oh man, me encanta el asado. If you live in Messi's hometown in Argentina, by law, you are not allowed to call your child Messi. An Argentine cowboy is known as a Gaucho. One of the very first jobs that I had in Argentina was working as a translator on multi-day horseback rides across the Andes. And I would go as the translator with a group of tourists, the guide and the gauchos. And I would listen to the stories, the folklóricos, the folklore stories that the gauchos would tell us around the campfire in the evening. And quite incredible. Yeah, really wonderful tradition to have been a part of. Número 13 is, of course, Argentine Tango. Tango was born in Argentina. In fact, it was born in Buenos Aires. And of course, I couldn't do this video on 15 things I bet you didn't know about Argentina without, of course, mentioning the discovery of the largest dinosaur remains in the history of discoveries of dinosaur remains was of course found in Patagonia in Argentina. So the remains of the Patagonia majorum, I think I pronounced that right, were discovered in 2008, and since then they've found more remains in Neuquén, which is also in Patagonia, so quite incredible. So there you have it, 15 things I bet you didn't know about Argentina. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you the next time. Adios!